This video is going to show you all about your Math 7 course so that you know how to navigate through it and that you'll be successful with it. First of all, what I want to do is I want to show you that you have probably on your right hand side of your screen two blocks called navigation and settings. And so you can actually dock these blocks by clicking and moving it over, and it'll end up popping over to the left hand side as a tab, and that will give you a full screen onto your computer. So that's probably the first thing I would do. The second thing to know is that if you're wondering what your progress is like on the videos and practice questions, you can always click on the StudyForge home link. And what it will do is it will send you to a different website in which you can see your activities. So in this case, I've actually gone into some different math courses and looked at some of the different lessons. And that's something that you should realize is that when you're in grade 8 and 9 math, you'll actually be able to go back and review a math concept that maybe you're a little rusty on and isn't really covered in your class, but you can go back and watch a video anywhere else. One thing also to notice is that there are little things that are called sort of breadcrumbs at the top of your screen, and they'll take you out of things. So right now I'm in the StudyForge home, and I want to actually go back to my math course, and I'll click on it and it'll take me back. You can also use your back button on your browser. Math 7 is composed of 9 units. Of these 9 units, there are 26 assignments altogether that you will hand in to your teacher, and there are 6 tests that cover the material. And so what I want to do is show you how you would go about starting up your Math 7. The first unit is about whole numbers and divisibility rules. And what you'll see here in the little lesson is what the lesson is going to be about. It looks like a little puzzle piece, and when you click on it, it will take you to the actual lesson. And in this case, I can see Math 7, Chapter 1, Whole Numbers, Divisibility Rules. The first thing to know is that there are notes that can go with the lesson. And so for me, I probably would want just the notes for this lesson. And when I click on it, it's going to ask me what type of notes I want. Paper Saver is when I don't take very many notes or maybe have very small printing. This is the normal size. Extra space is if you really need a lot of space to write notes. And then large print if you have perhaps some vision difficulties. And so what I want you to do is notice that underneath is a screen where you will watch your lesson. And so I'm going to click on it so you can sort of hear what the lesson starts out as.
Divisibility rules for 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are patterns everywhere in creation. Many of them can be explained using the
So in this case, what I see is I see that the video, I can speed it up all the way along to a different point, and I can see how in my notes I might need to fill things up. Most of these videos are less than 7 minutes long, so they're quite short. You can also change the speed at which they play. You can make it go a little slower. You can go normal speed, or if you really are sure about what you're learning and it's just sort of a quick review, you can double the speed. But also know that at any time you can pause it and you can place it back to where you want to be. Underneath the video, you will see a bunch of practice questions, and in this case, the ones that are in green are the questions I've actually already done. So what I can do is I can choose to print off the questions, or I might just have a scrap piece of paper in front of me while I'm doing them, and then I want to look at the question. So is 251 divisible by 2? Well, I can say no because 1 is not divisible by 2. So I'm going to check my answer, and it says no. And then you say, did you get it right? I'm going to say, yes, I did. And then quite often there are these humorous little quotes on the side, so you should check them out. I click on this arrow here to close the question, and when I look at this particular lesson, I can actually go through a good number of practice questions, 58 of them, including some challenge questions. So that's for me as a learner to decide how many practice questions I need to do before I go on to the next lesson. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable with divisibility rules, and then I might go to the next lesson and watch that about sorting numbers, and then do some practice questions, and then do the third lesson. Once I've watched all 3 lessons and I've done all the practice questions, it's time for me to do the assignment. So when I click on the assignment, there are directions there. And you can click it open and close it and open and close it until you're ready to submit your work. So Each assignment asks you, did you watch these lessons? Did you complete the practice questions? And if you have and you feel you're ready, what you can do is you can then choose either the Word document or PDF. Now you could choose the words because you can type in the answers. Sometimes you might have to do a little bit of figuring for graphing, so you might have to print out the work and then scan it back into your computer, and then you can submit it. So there is a video here showing you how to submit files, but if I were to open up my PDF and I'll look at it, first of all, I want to type in my name and the date I did this, and I go through the work and I save this file. Then at the bottom of my screen here, it says Submit button. So when I click on it, I can submit my work to my teacher. And it's really important that you sort of stay within the Moodle course and submit your work that way, because it will definitely go to your teacher, and your teacher is going to get a little message letting them know that you've sent in some work. So I should hope that you'll find that this math course, after the first couple of lessons, just sort of figuring it out, it's actually quite easy to get through, and it's pretty much the same for every unit. And I think that you'll find that it teaches you all the things that you need to know, and you don't need to have a textbook.